And just when you thought I covered almost every single TEAMGROUP's MP44 SSD, there comes a new one, which I didn't. So today we're going to talk about TEAMGROUP's MP44Q, and this one is actually quite large, 4 terabytes of storage on this one. We're having here a QLC SSD that has large capacity, it's single-sided, and well, basically it keeps the thermals under heavy load. I do have to say heavy load in terms of all those benchmarks that I regularly do, quite low, lower than some other SSD that can go up to these speeds, right? So this is quite interesting, but of course we're talking about QLC DRAMless SSD, wherein comes in play that this would be good to use in some storage scenarios. So either, I don't know about Steam or anything similar to that, because at certain point when we're talking about QLC in general, you have huge updates, and then it just, after being filled, kind of gets lower with the speeds, right? So yeah, that's the only thing that I could think of currently at this moment. But let's go quickly through some specs, and then we're gonna go more into details regarding the benchmark. So we're having PCI 4x4, and the controller is Maxiotech MAP 1602A Falcon Light. Then it's, as I said, the DRAMless, but it has HMB at 40 megabytes. NAND type is QLC, and the brand is YMTC. So it has SLC caching, it has graphene label for better heat dissipation, which is good. And what they stated, the read speeds go up to 7400 megabytes per second, while the write speeds go up to 6500 megabytes per second. It supports Trim Smart and is PS5 compatible. It's single-sided, so as I said, it's really good for those specific laptops if you decide to upgrade a laptop with additional storage, or PS5 or anything similar to that, where it's just not enough space for double-sided SSD. The technology behind it is 232 layers, speed is 2400 megahertz, die size is 52 square millimeters, 8 dies at 1 terabit, 4 planes per die, 2 decks per die, 2,148 TBW, 5 years warranty, and 1.6 million hours mean time before failure. Interface is 4.4 with NVMe, and then we're talking about regular speeds or Gen 4 SSD, so that's really good. And operation temperature is from 0 to 70 degrees Celsius. Now, in addition to everything as I stated, I think this could be good for storage, right? For additional storage. Now, we have to go further and definitely talk about benchmarks, because we have something, and you'll want to see this. So when we go to ASSSD, and of course I'm going to mention thermals as well, because those are quite important. So ASSSD read speeds go up to 5917.57, while the write speeds go up to 5281.81 megabytes per second. Now, this is definitely much lower than what they wrote, but the thermals are 48 degrees. Autodisk benchmark shows completely different story. We have 6.64 gigabytes per second, while the write speed is 5.41 gigabytes per second. Still much lower than what they wrote at 55 degrees. And then we have Crystal benchmark, where it goes up to 6,887.69 megabytes per second, which is much better than what we got before, and 5,865.01 megabytes per second, and 55 degrees Celsius. So all in all, what I can say in the Crystal benchmark, when we compare to others Gen 4 that actually go to these speeds, this is by 700 megabytes lower in read and write, and at least what I got. So yeah. But we go with IOPS read at 843,386, while the write IOPS go up to 809,237.38. Yeah. But 54.9 gigabyte file read and write speeds. Read is 3.84 gigabytes per second, while the write speeds is 3.67 gigabytes per second. The thing about this is that it has a solid controller, I do have to admit that, and we're talking about additional something that will help with the SLC caching. Graphene label does help with the heat dissipation. I'm not quite sure if removing the graphene, but if you do remove it, you're voiding the warranty. But if it will help with attaching the chips directly to the thermal pads on the motherboard, will it give a better thermals? But honestly, it's totally irrelevant because it had consistent speeds, at least in my benchmarks, because I read that QLC usually, and what I noticed in some others, QLC usually drops the speeds at some point when it's filled up. At this point, and what I did and what I filled it up with data, it didn't go to that point where the read and write speeds dropped. In my benchmarks, the speeds didn't drop, but maybe I didn't fill it up entirely to get to that point where the actual speed starts dropping. All in all, I mean, it's another SSD with QLC DRAMless. It has SLC caching, but it has quite high storage capacity, so up to 4 terabytes. You have 512 gigs, you have 1, 2, and 4 terabytes, so you can choose from. So taking all of that in consideration, it's something that you can either go with some other SSD that has different flash memory and pay a bit more. But then again, I totally understand the point where you're aiming for huge capacity. You don't want to spend too much, or just, you're just strictly into a certain budget and you can't spend anything extra on it. So in that scenario, these type of SSDs come in play if you're just searching for something to upgrade your PS5, or something to upgrade your storage on your PC, or just simply add additional storage. This could be the solution. But then again, you do have to take that into consideration, what QLC actually is and stands for, and what it does, and why is it so cheaper compared to others that aren't QLC. So yeah, that's it. That's all that I can say. All in all, if this is something that interests you, I'm placing the links for all four different capacities, storage sizes of the TEAMGROUP's MP44Q, and you can check them out and eventually see what suits you best, basically. And don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and click the notification bell, because some cool stuff are coming this week, and I bet you'll enjoy them. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.